To the tree. It's not something I typically do, but since so many people have asked, I'm going to show you. You can do it in many ways. You can first add your deco mesh to a garland. This is just a really cheap garland I got at I think Michael's. I didn't even take the time to fluff it because I'm going to shove it into the tree. You're not going to see it that much. So I'm going to show you this method first. So as you can see, I've attached it to a 9-foot garland. You're going to need more than that. If you have, say, a 7.5-foot tree, you're probably going to need 2 of these 9-foot garlands. And I would say if you have a 8-foot tree or a 9-foot tree, you're probably going to need 3. Not 8-foot, 9-foot tree. You're going to need like 3. So let's see. Be careful when you're on your ladder. So the first thing I'm going to do is just use, I use an artificial tree. If you don't use an artificial tree, you're going to need to get some pipe cleaners or some zip ties so that you can attach the mesh garland to the tree itself. But since I have an artificial, I'm going to use the branches to just twist around and secure my garland to that. So you can decide which way you want it to go. For example, some people like it to go just straight down. Make sure you push it back towards the center of the tree some. You're just going to use the stems from the garland to attach to the stems on the tree. But make sure it goes back. You don't want it to look like it's laid on top. If you have excess, you'll just cut that off. But this is, so what you would do now, first let me step back and get a better view. So that's the vertical method. Make sure you put put your branches in front of it. You want it to look a little bit more natural, not like it's just laid on top again. Alright, so then you would put one on this side and then probably another one on the back side. So this is a 7.5-foot tree, so you would need 3 if you're going to use this method. Let me show you a different method. So now I'm going to show you this, the method of when you wrap the garland around your tree. So again, you start at the top and now you're just going to angle it down. And again, use the branches of the tree to secure it. Use the branches of the garland to secure it, and you're going to want to push it back inside the tree. the tree. I tried to keep it at the same incline on both, both levels. If I had my other 9-piece garland, just like this one, I would continue on around, and then you would have a third line of deco mesh going down the tree. So that's that second way that you could add deco mesh to your tree. On an additional note, when you add your deco mesh to a garland, I didn't measure. I think it's better if you don't measure when you're dealing with this. If you measured out each loop exactly the same, to me it seems a little stuffy. I prefer it to be more of a flowing. The only thing I would do is probably try to keep the height of the loops relatively consistent, but you can see that each loop is not exact. It's a little different, and I didn't take any care of doing it. I just like poofed it up and attached it. At the end, I didn't even take the time to finish it off. Like I show you how to do it in my ebook to make it look really nice, like if you're hanging it on the door. This is just going to be shoved into the inside of the tree. You're not going to see it anyway. So that was just a little tip. I think it looks more professional, more natural, as natural as you can get with deco mesh. If you don't measure and make it an exact, lump, 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 if it's more flowing. And you can also get that effect as you stuff it more towards the center of the tree.